Morning to all of you there. So today we are beginning with chapter 1 of your BST. So what is the chapter's name? Business, Trade and Commerce. So during the introductory classes I have discussed about ancient trade in India. So how was the ancient trade in India? We have already discussed about some of the routes that we were using during the ancient trade. So, with some information, we shall now know in details about ancient trade in India. So, this is what we were doing, India's maritime history. So, this you could see this pic here. I have showed you earlier also people or traders moving from one place to the other on boats, and they were using these boats for trading from to various type parts of the world. So here next we are having the route, that is the overland silk route and the maritime silk route. So overland silk route, which was used by traders to trade with Central Asian countries, and the maritime silk route, that is the waterways were used so that they could trade with even the European countries. So this especially the maritime routes which linked the east and the west by sea and was used by traders of spices were known as spice route as well. So you can see the trade network here, and a network of roads merged into Silk Route helped in establishing commercial and political contacts with the empires of Asia. So this is all is the route. Now in the initial phases, when we have heard about the civilization, one civilization always comes to our mind is the Harappan and Mohenjo-daro civilization. So these civilization had established commercial connections with Mesopotamia, and they traded in gold, silver, copper, colored gemstones, beads, pearls, etc. So Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, there was a number of trade that was taking place, and trader community was strengthening day by day. They were rich in trade, that is they were doing a number of trade, and therefore they were growing richer and richer, and their strength as business community was growing stronger and stronger. So let us see what are the number of trading communities which we were having during the ancient times. So these were the trading communities in different parts of the country. Now also you hear them: Punjabi, Multani merchants, Bhatts, Mahajans, Chhat. So these Punjabis and Multanis were in northern region, Bhatts were in Gujarat and Rajasthan, Mahajans were in western India, Chhatts were in south. So these were the trading communities which were doing trade throughout the country with different parts of the country as well as different parts of the world. So they were forming a community. Just like children, we have the Chamber of Commerce, just like that, even these particular communities, they were grouping together and they made organizations. So what was the organization mainly? Merchant corporations were mainly two. That is, Mahajan community was represented by the chief Nagar Seth in urban centers like Ahmedabad. So this Nagar Seth, you must have heard about it in your movies somewhere in the olden times. You must have heard about that is the Nagar Seth. Okay, they were very powerful people, and they were the ones who were representing Mahajan community, and any problems or any kind of decisions regarding trade was made by these Nagar Seths. So they were very important for these people. And next is guilds. Now who were the guilds? Guilds were autonomous corporations formed to protect the interest of the traders. So these were independent corporation, and what was the major aim? To protect the interest of the traders. Now what was the role of the guilds? You can see the first one: framed their own rules of membership. Now if you want to take the advantage of the guilds, you had to be the member. The trader had to be the member of the guilds. So they had their own rules of membership. Next, professional code of conduct. They had certain code of conduct. Okay, so just like you are having the Chamber of Commerce today, you are having the president, the vice president, like that only. They had certain code of conduct and who will report to whom, whose decision will be the final. So all these things were established in the guilds. Okay, the guild chief directly dealt with the king. So the chief of the guild was the one who talked to the kings, and he was the one who also talked to the tax collectors. So he was representing the traders. Not only that, they took the task of building temples and made donations as well, because the trader community was very rich and powerful now. So they were the ones who were making donations also. So you can see their role in the community was very strong. So they had a major role to play in the community. Okay, so now what are the taxes that they were paying? I have talked about the collectors. So what are the taxes that they were paying? Let us see the taxes that they have been paying. They have been paying three major taxes: customs duty, octroi duty, and ferry duty. Now what is customs duty? When I talk about customs duty, it means refers to tax composed on exports and imports of goods. So whenever there is export and import of goods, you have customs duty. What is octroi duty? The taxes levied by state governments when the product enters state. So from one state to the other state, when the product is entering, you have one duty that is termed as octroi duty. Another is ferry duty, that is for carrying the passengers, goods, cattle, or carts on boat or ship. These duties are charged. So this was there in the olden times also. So these three duties were given by the traders. Okay, so let us see what were the trade centers. Now today, if I tell you about the major trade center, you will tell me Bombay, you will tell me Maharashtra's certain areas. Okay, or you can say Calcutta or Chennai. Okay, so did we have trade centers, major trade centers during those times? We did have. Okay, so there are number of trade centers. Like the first one is Patliputra. Now Patliputra, also known as Patna today, so it was a major commercial town, and they dealt in, or they exported, precious stones. Next is Peshawar, which exported wool, and it imported horses. So Peshawar horses were very famous. Horses used to go from Peshawar to different parts of the country. Takshila, city of financial and commercial banks. So here there were banks established which would give traders loans, and it was also known for its Buddhist center of learning. Takshila you must have done in your history. Now Indraprastha, commercial junction where routes leading to east, west, north, south merge. So Indraprastha was a place, it was a junction where all the routes, whether it is from the east, west, north, south, it all merged. So it was here that exchange of goods and services was taking place. So this place was another trade center. Next we are having Mathura. It is here that a large variety of goods were being traded. Next, Varanasi, major center for textile industries. You must have heard about Banarasi sari. Okay, so it is not only famous today, but it was from the very ancient times that it is very famous, and it is famous for gold silk clothes and sandalwood workmanship. So all these things was very famous in for Varanasi. Mithila, when we say traders of Mithila crossed the sea by boat through Bay of Bengal to South China Sea, and they traded in regions like Java, Sumatra and Borneo. So they took their goods from India, and they used to go from the Bay of Bengal, and they have traveled to China Sea, and then they used to trade in ports of Java, Sumatra, Borneo. So this was why Mithila was famous, taking out or exporting of goods. Okay, so next is Ujjain. So it was famous for muslin and Maslow clothes were exported from here. So Ujjain was famous for clothes here. Surat, as you know, still today it is famous for textiles with golden borders, was very famous. Then Kanchi, The Chinese traders purchased pearl, glass, rare stones from Kanchi, and from in return they gave silk to the traders and also sold gold. So this was in Kanchi. Then Madura, it attracted foreign merchants for carrying out overseas trade. So it was the capital of Pandyas who controlled the pearl fishery. So here mainly they were dealing in pearls, children. Pearls, that is from Gulf of Mannar. They used to get the pearls, and this was a major attraction for foreign merchants to come here in Madura. Next we are having others like Brouch. It was the greatest seat of commerce and trade in western India. So here it was situated on the banks of river Narmada and was linked with important marts by roadways. So it was actually a link of roadways. That is why that is trade in this place was very famous. That is convenient because it was linked with important roadways. Then we are having Kaveri Patta, that is center for trade for perfumes, cosmetics, silk, wool, cotton, corals, pearls, gold and precious stones, and also for shipbuilding. So here it was Kaveri Patta. Then you are having the last one, that is Tamrali Pati. That was, it was linking road to Banaras and Takshila. It was one of the greatest ports connected both by sea and land. So it was famous because it was connected by sea also and it was connected by land also. It linked by roads to Banaras and Takshila. So children, these are the major ports that we had earlier. Not only this, Surat, I have not told you but I'll continue with this, was very famous. Surat was very famous for Surat hundis, okay? And hundis are a kind of exchange of money, just like checks you are having. So we are having hundis. I will discuss about this in the next clip that we have in details. So you just know that Surat hundis was honored in Far East Egypt and Iran. So traders throughout the country were trading in various types of products and they were doing very well, and this helped India to become Sone ki Chidiya. Okay, so this is what was the ancient history of India. So thank you all of you. Have a nice day. In this we just have to know the major trade centers, the major corporations you should remember, okay, the major merchant corporations, trading communities, etc. So you should know which trade was happening in which part of the country. What did that part of a country trade in? Okay, like you had perfumes, cosmetic traded in Kaveri Patta. So this is it, children, today. So the rest we'll be doing in the next class. Okay, so we'll talk about hundis in the next class. Okay, thank you to all of you. Have a nice day.